Kashamaliza?
Alikuwa anachanja pale.
Hajafunga. Hajafunga?
Kafunga kidogo.
Kafunga vipi?
Okay, bye.
Dare, sawa pale.
Okay. As I told you, this cord is the mahogany tree. The tree that is very strong in wood for making local down. The one that we use in Safari 2 in Treasure Island. Because they survive in salt water also. Even the plant, you see, from the other tree, other wood is not good when you make the bio like that. Sometimes when you come, the water comes inside the plant. But here is very soft. Some I was with the Indian people and they want to stay here all day. So I stay there, I say, okay, I'm going to live here. All day, just around all the park.
I go to...
Like I said, imagine. And according to the research, they absorb more water. If they stay here, all this place is dry. So they absorb more water. They need more water compared to